ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Yes, continuation to the last class. So, second type of the nomenclature method is the trinomial nomenclature method is the second type of the method. First type of the nomenclature method is the binomial nomenclature method. Second type of the nomenclature method is the trinomial nomenclature method. So instead of giving two words for framing of scientific word, with three words if we can provide a scientific name to the individual, then that method is said to be as a trinomial nomenclature method. So instead of using two words to propose a scientific name to individual, if we can use as three words to frame a scientific name to the individual, then that kind of the method is said to be as the trinomial nomenclature method. Trinomial nomenclature method is extension method to the binomial nomenclature method. Trinomial nomenclature method is extension to the binomial nomenclature method. In this case, we must be uses three words for framing of a scientific name to the given individual. That name is said to be as the trinomen. That scientific name which is framed with three words, that scientific name is said to be as the trinomen. Again, definitely in the trinomial nomenclature method, last word represent the subspecies word. First word represent the genus word, second word represent the species word, third word represent the subspecies word. For example, when we observe the human scientific name Homo sapien, Homo sapien is the scientific name of the human. In this case, first word represent genus word. This represent the genus word. Second word represent the species word. Third word represent the subspecies word. Third word represent the subspecies word. Definitely here also, while we are writing the scientific name, while we are writing the trinomen, at first genus word must have to be begin with the capital letter. Species word must be begins with the small letter. Subspecies word also must be begins with the small letter. Again, after completing the writing, separately we have to underline this genus word, species word, subspecies word also. Here also, scientific name must be typed in an italic manner, like that of the binomial nomenclature. Here also, this scientific name must be write in italic manner, must be print in an italic manner, must be typed in an italic manner. Here also Latin words must be taken, Latin words must be used for this kind of the scientific name proposal. So in that way, by using the three words, definitely if we can frame a scientific name to the given individual, then that kind of the method is said to be as the trinominal nomenclature method. So in this trinominal nomenclature method, first word represent Homo, that is the genus. Second word, that is the sapien, represent the species. Third word, that is the sapien, represent the subspecies. Similarly, when we observe the Indian crow, scientific name is Curvus splendens. Curvus splendens is the scientific name. Curvus splendens is the scientific name. In this case, this represents the genus, this represents the species, this represents the subspecies. Similarly, this is the Indian crow scientific name. This is the Indian crow scientific name. When we observe the Myanmar crow scientific name, Curvus splendens insolens. Curvus splendens insolens is the scientific name of Myanmar crow. Myanmar crow scientific name. Similarly, when we observe the Sri Lankan crow scientific name, Curvus splendens Protigatus is Sri Lanka crow scientific name. So in that way, definitely if we can use three words for framing of a scientific name to the given individual, then that scientific name is said to be as the trinomen. Such method is said to be as the trinominal nomenclature method. So in this case also, this represents the genus, this represents the species word, this represents the subspecies word. Indian crow scientific name is the Curvus splendens. This is the subspecies of India. Sri Lankan crow scientific name is Curvus splendens protigatus. Protigatus is the subspecies of Sri Lanka crow. Again, Myanmar crow scientific name is the Curvus splendens insolens. Insolens is the subspecies of the Myanmar crow. So this is the trinominal nomenclature. Next to tautonymy. Tautonymy. So what is the meaning of the tautonymy? What is the definition of the tautonymy? Means the practice of naming of an individual, in which if the genus and the species word is same, then that is said to be as the tautonymy. That scientific name is said to be as the tautonym. So naming of, the practice of naming of an individual by using the genus and the species word as the same, then that process is said to be as the tautonymy. That name is said to be as the tautonym. For example, so practice of, what is the tautonym means? practice of naming of animal with genus and species word as same. Process of naming of animal with genus and species word as same, then that is said to be as the tautonymy. Such name is said to be as the tautonym. That name is said to be as the tautonym. For example, axis, 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 nausea, 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 ratus, ratus, or better example for the tautonym. In this case, this word represent the genus, this word represent the species word. But in both of them also word is same. Axis, axis, nausea, nausea, ratus, ratus, khazanus, khazanus. Like that way, during the naming of an individual, if we can use the same word for represent the genus as well as the species, then that practice of naming is said to be as the tautonymy. These names are said to be as the tautonym. These are the tautonyms. Tautonym, that is nothing but name, which is with the same genus and species word. So what is the axis, axis? Spotted deer. Spotted deer scientific name is the axis, axis. What is the nausea, nausea? Indian cobra. Indian cobra scientific name. Indian cobra scientific name is the nausea, nausea. Rat. Scientific name is the ratus, ratus. In that way, so in the scientific name, both the genus as well as the species word, if it is same, that naming practice is said to be as the tautonymy. Such kind of the name is said to be as the tautonym. This is the tautonymy. Next continuation topic is kingdom Animalia. Continuation topic is the kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Definitely kingdom is the highest taxa in obligatory categories. As per the Linnaeus classification, as per the Carolus Linnaeus, kingdom is the highest level of taxa when compared to the rest of the obligatory taxas. So definitely kingdom Animalia. In Animalia kingdom only animals are included. Only animals are included in kingdom Animalia. Then what are the characteristic features of animals which may be included in kingdom Animalia? Means first in kingdom Animalia, whatever the animals which are included, they are eukaryotic. They are the eukaryotic animals. They are with heterotroph nature. Eukaryotic, heterotrophs and multicellular in nature. What is the meaning of the eukaryotic? If animals are with a distinct nucleus in their cell, then we can say that is the eukaryotic. If the animals are with a distinct nucleus in their cell, then they are said to be as the eukaryotic. Again, heterotrophs. Animals do not have the chlorophyll. Animals do not have the capacity to perform the photosynthesis to synthesize their own food material. So that only they depends upon the plants for their food material. So that only they are said to be as the heterotrophs. Definitely animals do not have the chlorophyll. Animals do not has the capacity to perform the photosynthesis. By that way they do not synthesize their own food material. So that only they depends upon the other animals for their food material. They depends upon the plants for their food material. So that only they are said to be as the heterotrophs. Again, they are multicellular. Definitely, the animals which are included in kingdom Animalia are with many kind of the cells. In their body, many kind of the cells are present. Millions of the cells are present. So that only they are said to be as the multicellular. The animals which are included in kingdom Animalia, such animals' body is with millions of cells. So that only they are said to be as the multicellular. Second one, animals which are included in kingdom Animalia are without cell wall and without chlorophyll. Without chlorophyll, definitely the animals which are included in kingdom Animalia, that animals are without a cell wall. Plasma membrane is present around to the cell, but not the cell wall. In the case of the plant cell, cell wall is present, but in the case of the animal cell, around to the cell, plasma membrane is present instead of cell wall. Plasma membrane is present. Definitely, without a cell wall and without a chlorophyll, means these animals do not have the cell wall in their cell. These animals do not have the chlorophyll to perform the photosynthesis. Again, in kingdom Animalia, the animals which are included, they are mostly with tissues. Most of the individuals which are included in the kingdom Animalia are tissues, are with the organs, are with the organ systems in their body. So except sponges, definitely except in sponges, in all definitely tissues are present, organs are present, organ systems are present. Definitely except in sponges, in rest of all, tissues are must be present, tissues may be present. So definitely in most of the individual, in most of the animals of kingdom Animalia, tissues, organ systems are present to perform the various body function. But tissues may not be gets appeared in the sponges, that is the foriferous body. So in foriferous body, many kind of the cells though they are present, they may not aggregated to form the tissue, they may be remains separate and they may not be aggregated to form the tissue. Except in sponges, in rest of all kind of the individuals, tissues must be present. Next, definitely in most of the animals of kingdom Animalia, sensory cells and well developed neuromotor system. Neuromotor system, nothing but nervous system. Well developed sensory cells, well developed sense organs, well developed neuromotor system is present to respond against to the external stimuli. Definitely in the case of the kingdom Animalia animals, sensory cells are present, sensory organs are present to respond against to the external stimuli, and also to coordinate them. This neuromotor system, that is the nervous system, is also in well developed stage. Well developed nervous system along with well developed sensory cell, sensory organ is present in most of the animals of the kingdom Animalia to respond against to the external stimuli. Definitely sensory organs means in our body, eye is the sense organ, ear is the sense organ, tongue is the sense organ, nose is the sense organ. Like that way, several sense organs are present in our body to respond against to the external environmental changes. So in that way, definitely well developed nervous system along with the sense organ, along with the sensory cells were present in various kind of the animals of kingdom Animalia to respond against to the external environmental changes. Next, in most of the animals, what kind of the digestion is appears means holozoic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of nutrition is appears in most of the animals of the kingdom Animalia. What is the meaning of the holozoic? Solid state of the food if it is ingested as it is, solid state of the food if it is ingested as it is, and later if it can be digested in alimentary canal, then that is said to be as the holozoic mode of nutrition. In most of the animals of kingdom Animalia, holozoic mode of the nutrition is appears. That's nothing but if solid state of the food material if it is gets ingested, solid state of the food material if it can be ingested, later if it can be digested in alimentary canal, then that is said to be as the holozoic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of the nutrition is appears in the kingdom Animalia animals, means they feed solid state of the food, later that will be digested in alimentary canal. Next, reserved food. Reserved food is glycogen. Definitely after getting the digestion, The digested food is at first reaches to liver. That is at first reaches to the liver from the digestive system, where that is gets partitioned. Later, after partitioning, the excess food which is there, that will be gets stored inside of the liver in the form of the glycogen. Reserved food material in our body, reserved food material in our body is the glycogen. This is also called as animal starch. This is also called as the animal starch. Definitely in the animals of kingdom Animalia, in the animals of kingdom Animalia, the excess food material which is reaches to the liver, that will be gets stored in the form of the glycogen for the further usage. That is the reserved food is the glycogen, that is the animal starch, that will be gets stored in the liver. Definitely most of the animals which may be included in the kingdom Animalia are motile. Definitely these animals are motile. What is the meaning of the motile? They may be shows the movement from one place to another place, either for the reproduction or for the searching of the food material. If the animals may be shows the movement, if the animals may be shows the locomotion from one place to the another place, then they are said to be as the motile. So animals, very few are sedentary. Most of the animals which may be included under the kingdom Animalia are motile. Motile nothing but they may be shows the movement from one place to another place for searching of the food material for the mating purpose. Definitely they may be shows the movement. So that is said to be as the motile. But sponges are sedentary. Sponges are sedentary. Sedentary means sessile. They may not be able to shows the movement. They may be fixed to the ground and they may not shows the movement throughout their lifetime. That is said to be as the sedentary or sessile. This is also called as the sessile nature. What is the meaning of this sedentary? What is the meaning of this sessile means? Sponges may not be shows the movement from one place to another place. Sponges always fixes to ground in their living area. They may not shows the movement throughout their lifetime. That nature is said to be as the sedentary or sessile. Except to sponges, most of the animals which are included under the kingdom Animalia are motile or shows the motility. Again, when we observe the kingdom Animalia individuals, this kingdom Animalia animals shows sexual reproduction. Definitely most of the animals of kingdom Animalia reproduce the daughters by the sexual reproduction. So, but few are also reproduce the daughters by the asexual reproduction. Few are also produces the daughters by the asexual reproduction also, but most of the animals may be produce the daughters by the sexual reproduction. So definitely what is the sexual reproduction? What is the sexual reproduction? If by the involvement of this sperm cell and ovum, if daughters are gets produced, then that is said to be as the sexual reproduction. From the father's sperm cell, from the mother ovum, if they produces, if they may be fused with each other to form the zygote, from that zygote young one development if it is taken place, then the sperm cell is gets produces from the mother, ovum is gets produces, these two are gets fused to form the zygote. This is said to be as the zygote. From the zygote, if young one development if it is taken place, if daughters gets delivered from that kind of the zygote finally, then that is said to be as the sexual reproduction. So most of the animals of kingdom Animalia shows the sexual reproduction to produce the daughters, but when we observe the sponges, when we observe the hydras, when we observe the planarians, when we observe the planaria, they shows the asexual reproduction. They reproduce the daughters by asexual reproduction also. They also perform the sexual reproduction. In addition to that, they also perform the asexual reproduction. Sponges also can perform the sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. Hydras also can be able to perform the sexual and asexual reproduction. Planarians also have the capacity to perform the sexual and asexual reproduction. In that way, the kingdom Animalia animals mostly produces the daughters by the sexual reproduction, but sponges, hydras, planaria also can be able to produce the daughters by asexual reproduction also. That means these are also perform the sexual reproduction. In addition to the sexual reproduction, they also has the capacity to produce the daughters by asexual reproduction also. Again, what is the asexual reproduction? Without involvement of the sexual cells, without involvement of the sexual cells, if daughter production is taken place by the involvement of the single parent, then that is said to be as the asexual reproduction. Without involvement of the sperm cell and ovum, without getting formation of the sperm cell and ovum, without involvement of the both parents, by the involvement of the single parent, if daughter's production is taken place, then it is said to be as the asexual reproduction. Again, in the case of the kingdom Animalia, individuals, what kind of the cells are present in their bodies means muscle cells, nerve cells and sensory cells and epithelial cells are very commonly appears. Definitely blood cells also present, definitely muscle cell, nerve cells, sensory cells, epithelial cells, blood cells are very commonly appear in this kind of the animals of the kingdom Animalia. These are the characters of the kingdom Animalia animals. Next to classification of the kingdom Animalia. Next continuation topic is the classification of the kingdom Animalia. Classification of kingdom Animalia. So classification means based on the presence and absence of the tissue, this kingdom is gets classified into two sub-kingdoms. Means what are the various sub-kingdoms? What are various grades? What are various divisions? Is nothing but classification. So when we observe the classification of the kingdom Animalia, this kingdom Animalia is principally categorized into two sub-kingdoms based on the presence and absence of the tissue. Whether original tissues are present in the body or not, whether only cells are present, whether original tissues are present or not, based on that, this kingdom Animalia principally categorized into two sub-kingdoms. One is said to be as the Parazoa. First sub-kingdom is the Parazoa. Second sub-kingdom is the Eumetazoa. First sub-kingdom is the Parazoa. Second sub-kingdom is Eumetazoa. Definitely in the Parazoans, true tissues are absent. True tissue is absent. In the case of this sub-kingdom Parazoa, cells, more and more number of these cells are present in their body. Multicellular nature is appears, means more and more number of the cells are present, but that kind of the cells may not be aggregated to form the tissue. Definitely, Parazoa animals are with multicellular. These are multicellular animals. Multicellular animals means in their body many kind of the cells are present, but that kind of the cells may not be aggregated to form the original tissue. So means here true tissues are absent. True tissues are not present. Tissue development is not taken place. Then what is the phylum which is belongs to sub-kingdom Parazoa? Means that is the Porifera. That is the Porifera is only one phylum which is included under the sub-kingdom Parazoa. Under the sub-kingdom Parazoa, only one phylum which is gets included, that is the Porifera. This Poriferans are with many kind of the cells in their body without true tissues. Next, second,